Hey all, welcome to a day in my life as a software engineer working from home. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name's Becca and I'm a full-time software engineer, a part-time Pilates instructor, and someone with multiple interests and passions. I'm going to take you through a realistic day in my life and talk you through the pros and cons of working remotely. Typically, I wake up around 6 a.m, basically as late as I can get away with while still being able to fit in my morning workout and have some time to myself before I start my workday. It's so much harder to wake up early in these darker months. Now, there are definitely some downsides to working remotely, and I'll talk about these in a bit and how to overcome the challenges. But first, let's start with the positives of working from home. One of the main pros for me is the time I save working from home. I have more time in the morning to go to the gym, get a workout in, maybe get a food shop in, shower and eat a nutritious breakfast. Without the commute to the office, I can start my day on my terms, which allows me to prioritize activities that are important to me. Fitness is a big part of my life, and it really puts me in the best mindset for the rest of my day. I feel so thrown off if I haven't moved my body that day. And I often say this, but moving my body is the single most impactful thing that I can do for myself. There's something incredibly rewarding about feeling strong and capable in my own skin. When I prioritize my physical health, I'm not just investing in my body, I'm investing in my overall well-being. Building strength and taking the time to care for my health is the best gift I can give myself. It's not just about aesthetics, but building strength and doing hard things in the gym has a positive ripple effect into the rest of my life. Prioritizing my health truly is the most important thing I can do, not just for today, but for my future as well. Fitness and dance boost my energy and my focus, and they are literally therapy for me. And ultimately, choosing to prioritize these things and my health is a form of self-care that allows me to show up as my best self, not just for me, but for everyone else around me also. Here I am in the gym working on my pull-ups. I've reached a plateau with my bodyweight pull-ups recently, so I've added banded pull-ups back into my training, focusing on higher reps. Another huge benefit of working from home is the flexibility it gives me to tackle life admin and those everyday chores that usually build up when you're on a tight schedule. Without a commute, I have the time to keep up with small tasks throughout the day, so they don't pile up and overwhelm my weekends. And this means I have more time to myself after work and on the weekends for dance, fitness, content creation, and other things that are important to me. For example, working from home means I have time to wash my hair in the mornings. Hair washing days for me take so long. I like to leave my hair to air dry, which takes around 2 to 3 hours, which is impossible to fit in on a work day if I'm commuting to the office. But working from home gives me the chance to start my day as usual and let my hair air dry while I'm working. Little things like this make my day feel more balanced and manageable. And on the subject of balance, sleep is one of my top priorities. Because I don't have to factor in travel time, I can get up a little later and still enjoy a full morning routine, including things like fitness and meal prep that would be tough to fit in if I were commuting. Today is a Friday, and on Fridays, my team have what we call meeting-free Fridays. This doesn't mean we don't talk to anyone. We can still set up calls with each other if we are working on something together, or if we have something urgent to discuss. but generally, if it isn't urgent, we leave it till Monday. Working in an agile Scrum team means we have quite a lot of meetings. For example, we have retros, sprint planning, sprint reviews, and daily stand-ups. I really like this meeting-free Friday initiative that my manager proposed, as it means we can get into some deep focus work without being interrupted by meetings. So this morning we didn't have our usual stand-up, which means no one has to see my wet hair. And now this is going to be different for everyone, but I find I can be more productive when I'm working from home. I'm way less distracted because I can control my home environment, which isn't possible in the office. When I'm at home, I can set up a workspace that's distraction-free and without interruptions. For me, silence really helps. At home, I can keep things quiet and avoid the constant background noise of people talking or the distraction of sitting next to someone on a call or someone on a meeting. But of course, working from home only stays productive if you can practice self-discipline and manage potential distractions around you. Setting boundaries and sticking to a routine can really help with this. Put your phone in another room and make your space as distraction-free as possible. Another pro of working from home is, of course, the money that I save. I don't need to spend money traveling to the office, and I don't end up buying lunch out. So extra time and extra money is a win-win situation. I always try and make my own lunch where possible, and I always try and meal prep ahead. For lunch, I'm reheating a tofu and vegetable stir fry that I made the other day. I'm having it with some noodles. It tastes a lot better when I reheat it by pan frying it instead of just in the microwave, which is again only possible when working from home. I know that these things I'm talking about are a luxury, and I know not everyone is able to do this, so I do recognise my privilege here. And of course, it wouldn't be a meal of mine without fresh coriander. I don't understand how some people don't like it. Coriander always elevates a dish. And then I've got some parsley here too. Parsley has so many health benefits and it's so good for you. Although working from home comes with loads of benefits, as with most things, there are trade-offs. There are definitely some downsides that come with the remote lifestyle, and some of these aren't talked about often enough. Now let's get back to my workday and discuss these. So, work-life boundaries. Sometimes the lines can become blurred between home and work life. There's the risk of not being fully productive during work hours and then struggling to truly relax afterwards. It's like being in this constant in-between state where you're not fully switched on or off, and it can be exhausting. It can feel like there's no real start or end to your day. You're just always somewhere in between. For example, it can be tempting to keep working into the evening, thinking since your work setup is only a few steps away, that it's easy to do so. But that habit can make you feel like you're never fully off. And because you're always near your workspace, you might feel a pull to check emails or respond to messages, even during what should be downtime. Without clear boundaries, this can start to affect your productivity too. Instead of working with focus and purpose during work hours, it's easy to feel less motivated or distracted, knowing that there's no definitive clock out time. On top of that, your relaxation time isn't truly restful, and that cycle can quickly lead to burnout. One thing that's really helped me is creating routines and boundaries for myself, something I discuss in detail in another video about how to create a healthy work-life balance while working from home, and I'll leave the link to that below. I talk about the little habits that help me separate work from personal life, making it easier to be productive when I need to be and to actually switch off when the workday is over. Another thing is dips in your motivation. When working from home, you don't have other people working around you, so sometimes it can be hard to keep the motivation going. Some tips I have for this are going to a co-working space or a cafe and occasionally switching up your surroundings. Or maybe you can have more frequent calls with your colleagues, even if it's a silent call with each other, so you can both work on your own thing at the same time to keep you focused. So one thing that I don't think people talk about often enough is the impact remote working has on junior developers. I really struggled working from home in my early career. When I was a graduate, I learned so much from other people by being in the office every day. But COVID forced us to work from home, and then I was placed in a team where everyone else was remote. This meant there was no reason for me to go into the office, so remote working became the norm. What a lot of people don't realise is that working from home makes it so much harder to learn from others. I felt like I was being a burden to other people in my team by asking if they could jump on a call. A question that would take 30 seconds to answer in an office environment now felt like much more of a hassle, and it was hard to get responses from people as they didn't feel like they needed to reply straight away. They could hide behind a screen and set their status to do not disturb. If you're going through a similar situation now, I want you to forget about what other people might think of you. No question is a stupid question, and staying silent is only going to impact your future career. I want you to ask as many questions as possible, keep reaching out to others, and keep asking for calls and check-ins with managers and mentors. And if you are a more senior engineer, I would really urge you to check in on your more junior colleagues. Working from home makes it harder to learn from others, but it doesn't mean it's not possible. You just need proper communication and collaboration. Video calls can be great for this. On balance, for me, the benefits of remote and hybrid working definitely outweigh the drawbacks. Having the option to work from home or in a hybrid setup gives me more control over my time and energy, allowing me to be more productive and balanced across different areas of my life. I'm grateful for the cultural shift towards flexible work. It's empowering to see how our generation is shaping a work culture that values well-being and balance as much as ambition and productivity. We're moving away from rigid office structures and designing lives that align with our values, letting us pursue our careers in ways that genuinely work for us. In the evenings, I usually go to a dance class, but today my body was feeling like it needed to rest, and I just needed a chill evening in. I decided to make this mixed bean veggie chili. The weather is getting colder, and this is such a comforting warm meal. I like to wind down before bed by either journaling or reading a book. I spend so much time staring at a screen throughout the day, so it's nice to get away from the screens a bit before bed. If you made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you so much for watching, and second of all, I'd love to hear your experience of remote working and what work pattern you think works for you. And lastly, I'd love it if you could like, subscribe, and hopefully see you next time.